Well, there's a word. Unfunded liability. Hmm. What does he mean by that? Number one, there is no liability involved in this. It's called workman's compensation. It's supposed to be no fault. Why is there a unfunded liability? This guy is talking gobbledygook. Oh, sure, the employers are happy because they've been told that their premiums are going down. But the reasons their premiums are going down is because they're not paying out any compensation to injured workers. This moron here, he's probably one of the guys that takes money for making decisions on medical cases where he's never actually examined the patient. Something that's illegal and been fought in the court in Nova Scotia, I believe, and they lost. They're not allowed to do that, but they do it. And they continue to do it because they break the law wherever they want. I had a video on earlier which I was talking about reconsiderations and judicial reviews. I was wrong in the information that I give, so I edited it, got it off. At one time, you had unlimited time in which to have a judicial review. Give you time to get a lawyer, and not a lot of people did it anyways because it costs lots of money for a lawyer, and people give up after years and they don't bother with it. But Mr. Gordon Campbell, the devil's right-hand man, he got his dirty little fingers in there and he changed the act. Well, he set one up to apply to WCB. Now you have 60 days in which to file a judicial review after your case has been, the final appeal has been denied. Anyways, and who's got the kind of money to hire a lawyer? Very few. And very few people are capable of doing a judicial review, and they know that. This is why they weren't too concerned about it. But Gordy Baby there, he went to a lot of trouble to close this down. You want to hear something really hilarious? Oh, and this is the God's honest truth. If you're a pedophile or a murderer sitting in prison, there is an unlimited time limit on when you can file it for a judicial review. And not only that, they get all the free legal aid they want. You try getting free legal aid out here for your case. I have. I had the coalition of, I don't know what the name of the outfit is, James Sayre and Kevin Love and that bunch. Not very helpful at all. Their own agenda, always their own agenda. Anyways, didn't like me, thought I was too violent for them. Because when it all come about, I asked Kevin Love, I says, what the fuck do I need you for? I can file an appeal myself. I don't need you to file an appeal for me. They were going to take these tapes I had of the companies blacklisting me, and they were all gung-ho about getting them and going after these people. But then all of a sudden they changed their mind. I guess probably the BC Fed or the Carpenters Union probably gave them the word to back off on it. I don't know which, but somebody did, because all of a sudden they weren't too interested in it. Up until that point, they didn't even want to talk about my appeal. They weren't interested in it, and then all of a sudden they were going to do my appeal. But anyways, so a common pedophile murderer has more rights in this country than you do, thanks to Gordon Campbell. He is a monster of the first degree, that boy. He's done so much harm to us. I don't know who this clown is, but wherever he's from, he should go back there and remain quiet. Unfunded liability. There is no liability in workman's compensation. Number one, there is no liability involved. It's supposed to be non-adversarial. It's nobody's fault. It's an accident that happens. And they're funded to the hilt. They're funded by the employer. They're funded by the workers. They're not funded by the government. They have no involvement other than a quasi connection. As far as I'm concerned, they're an insurance company, and that you should be able to sue them like you sue any other insurance company. But the government has provided protection for these people because it's all to pay off. Not even the small employer. Because if you're a small employer and you fuck up, these people will come after you and stomp you right into nothing. But if you're a big employer or a corporation, you have their ear, and they will do anything to protect that employer. Doesn't matter what it is. They'll lie. They'll do anything to make sure that nothing happens to them, because they want that money coming in, of course. Hey, that steady money. Unfunded. I didn't even want to listen to the rest of what this clown says. He talks about how injured workers' satisfaction is rising. What the fuck is he on? Is he smoking some real good shit? Hey, John, are you sharing with him or something? Because he's got to be smoking some real badass shit, because everything I've read between here and fucking Ontario is people that are pissed off because they're being screwed 6 ways to Sunday by these bastards. Now, let me fill you in on a little secret. There's only one place in the whole of fucking Canada where the WCB actually works. You know where it is? It's in Quebec. Do you know that in Quebec, if you get injured on the job, they automatically offer you retraining? And they'll follow through with it, too. But not in BC or Alberta or in Ontario. You get fucking dick shit. If they do offer you retraining, they offer you garbage retraining. And as for this other bullshit about the medical stand, oh yeah, they'll get you in to set your broken arm in a hurry in the hospital and all that. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. Well, also what he's not saying is, oh, he's talking about expediting. That was it, expediting. Yeah, they sure do. They put you back to work before you're fucking capable of going back to work, and you re-injure. Or you're working in agony, and you're too damn scared to say anything about it because you know that you won't get any money and they'll end up getting you, rid of you. I get real tired of talking or listening to pretty boys in their fancy suits and their fancy haircuts, you know, telling me how good things are. Yeah, fucking things are good for them. No, not very good for anybody else. I talked to a friend of mine tonight, and he's going, "Oh, why are you fighting that? You know, you're flogging a dead horse and all this shit." He doesn't realize I'm fighting for people like him. I tried to explain to him. His fucking boss, he's a mechanic, and his boss is working on school buses on a hoist that isn't rated to carry school buses, and he had to threaten to go and turn them in order to get this guy to stop doing this, because he didn't give a shit if he killed his workers. He didn't give a shit at all. But what I tried to get into his head was, hey, if you give up any fight, it just gets worse for the next guy. Like I said before, if I go to my grave and I've helped retrain the army that fucking straightens WCB out, then I can go wherever I go happy. Because I don't want to see anybody else suffer this way. That's what it's all about, caring about your fellow men. You know, you got to get rid of this attitude, I don't give a shit about what happens to the guy next to me. I used to be a union member. I still believe in the union strongly. But I don't believe in the union the way they believe in them, because, hey, if I don't take care of that guy standing next to me,